Okay, we are back on Vermeer. Feels like we're giving Vermeer one last run in the sun before it gets forgotten about, and we've all moved on to the new pool. So still working through a little bit of my old replay pack. I've had a go at pronouncing this alias of Snows, and it is Huangso's Jukiru. Jukuri. Damn it! I had it so much better before I started the cast, but yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. What's up, everyone? It is Sunday afternoon. I just got done cooking a whole whack of food. I am an advanced cooker, so I will make meals for the entire week, pretty much on a Sunday. So I made some bacon cheese grilled sausages, I made some burgers, and I made some steak. I made some potatoes. I will do some fresh vegetables tomorrow, and those vegetables and potatoes will just be blended in with those various meats, and that should pretty much cover us for the week. Alrighty, so just got done a little earlier today casting a game of Snows under this barcode alias on this map, where at one stage he had 14 arbiters. 14, 1-4. You're not hearing me incorrectly. If you have not watched that game yet, I highly recommend checking it out, just purely for the amusement factor. Okay, so it looks like we're making our racks over here to do a little bit of a depot wall in, potentially. We'll be keeping an eye on that. I don't know who this barcoded Terran is. I'm not really too invested as to who the players are. I kind of know if Snow's playing on this account on the ladder, he's tanked the MMR down to about 2300, so he's not going to be pairing against pros that often. He's just trolling around having fun. Alright, so it looks like Terran is going to first scout him and see nothing unusual. It just seems like standard stuff. Cybernetic score. Now adding the third probe onto gas, so it feels like it's that slightly more optimized getting your Nexus without overmining gas kind of timing. Little subtlety from the Protoss build order optimization that's been looked at. Here is our depot. As expected, here comes our factory. So everything's pretty normal in Terran land. He's already got the one. SCV, we'll just see how much our probe manages to see. So he runs in, sees that, and decides that's good enough. Okay, if you say so. Comes our... So it's a 19 Nexus. So basically it's a Nexus, no range, no goon. Oh, sorry. No range, one goon. And now what we should see after this is a fairly fast robo. So you don't get range with this build with the plan to hit the bunker. You rush Reavers. So that's the theory, at least. We'll see what happens in practice. Another goon is on his way. This is now the scouting goon. As you can see, it's just posturing here, showing, yeah, I'm definitely, even though the core's not spinning and he's got an SCV in his base, I'm definitely just keeping an eye on what you're doing, but I'm no threat to you, so don't worry about bringing any units down or anything like that. Okay, goon's in the base, chasing this SCV. One more shot and he will be gone. Still having a good run of it though. Goon's running as fast as he can. Oh, I thought we'd get him with one more shot. There we go. Alright. No dramas so far. Robo on the way. So gets range after he starts the robo. So that's the optimization. It's quite subtle. This tank seems to be pretty aggro, trying to shoot this goon in the face. Goon runs away, no worries. Up to 3 marines in the bunker, and I think, oh, he's making another marine. This might be a little mini push here. Transferring workers from this. I wonder if he gets this timing absolutely right. Let's see. Oh, this goon is very low health. Uh-oh. Snow's gonna have to react here. Observatory on the way in. This goon's not dead, but he's laying mines on the walking path. So he can't walk along this line, because if he does, he'd get mined to death, quite literally. Uh-oh. Oh, he's targeted down that mine. That's really good micro. If that mine gone off, would have been drama. It's a tank and 5 marines. It should be holdable. We've got a bunch of inactive probes here. We're making another pylon, and we're walling off here. And we're stuck because we don't have an observer. Very close though. Observatory's dead. Uh-oh. Probes had to be pulled. Getting some good damage here now. Here's the observatory. Oh, here's the observer, sorry. Another gateway coming in. The goons inside the base are cleaning up. And then I think these goons here will clean up this tank. And that'll be that. I don't think it was a full commitment to the push from Terran. He's going siege mode behind this. So now we'll just clean up these mines. Possibly look for a counterattack now, considering there's absolutely nothing in the bunker. And of course, mines are no threat to him. He seems to have left the house. I don't think goons can get out here, can they? Oh, there's literally this spot here. Okay. So maybe now he will leave a goon here just to close this up. We'll counter. No, he decides, no thank you. Okay, so he's actually just put a single marine in there. That's interesting timing. So I decided to go home. I wonder if he's going to walk on any mine pathing. He's left the observer, or lost the observer. No, he hasn't lost it though. He's popped the observer up here. So I have very good visibility on what the Terran is up to. Decides to take a third behind this, and the game is somewhat normalized now. 39 SCVs versus 31 probes, so definitely a worthwhile push from the Terran early. And I'd say, to be fair, probably in a pretty strong position, definitely ahead at this stage of the game. I expect this is to track any flight paths of drops. Support bound the way. So I expect Snow will be trying to play his way back into this game with some Reaver play. Clearing mines. I wonder if he's just going to go straight away and take a fourth here. Got the money for it. Yep, here we go. The double expands. It's a Wraith here. So this is just very preemptively, somebody has a sense that Snow's a Reaver player. I mean, we all know that he's a Reaver player, but if you don't have scanners, and you just need to try and do a little bit of a catch-all, any kind of drop play, whether it's Reavers, Dark Templars, whatever, a Wraith is handy to try and combat that shuttle. It's quite aggressive. So he's always doing some kind of cheese, whether it's economic cheese, or it's shooting the eggs, or it's other kind of cheese. So with these 4 Nexuses now, he should be able to catch up on his worker fly without any dramas. And we'll be keeping an eye to understand what exactly is Snow's plan here. Do we have a starport on the way? We do. Second, I meant to say... What the hell? This is the third Wraith? It's just like... What build is this? Do we want to have lots of Wraiths? We've made 3. So 2 Wraiths to block the shuttle there, 1 there. So he's just really committed to blocking the Reaver play. Question is... There does come the second shuttle. Is there a Reaver in the first one? Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on these shuttles. Couple of mains being laid. Mans being laid. Nicely done. Cutting off all these vultures. Just an observer. Mine over here. Spoons and observer moving out. Secure any mines. Mines are also obviously a early warning system to the Terran. If the shuttle flies over the path of a mine, for example, they'll see the shuttle coming. Here come the shuttles now for the first time. Fly straight over the... You know, he's left that hole wide open. Another mistake from Snow. Gonna have to use his vultures in a defensive manner. He does have a safety cannon here, which I think he will be grateful about. Did lose probably about 7 probes from this harassment. Potentially 1 more. So nicely done. Good little counterplay there. Snow moves all his goons out and was very quickly punished for it. Nobody's on gas here. Hopefully he restores that now. It's himself a cannon, but I think we'll just make his life a bit easier. Nearly eats that mine. Third base is up for the Terran. And I think Terran is starting to move into a very strong position here. This third base has come up with relative ease. There's lots of tanks here. The Wraiths, I hear them. Oh, the Wraiths are cloaked. Wow. So there's dead shuttle. Yeah, the Wraiths are a really good counter to the shuttle play, I must say, especially if they're cloaked. So in and out, it does keep one shuttle alive with the Reaver and 2 Zealots in it. But thought better of trying to block that expansion. And I think Protoss here still remains very much behind. Expanding to another base though, I think that's the only way Protoss grinds out a win, is taking lots more bases. Can't attack this stage. So this is the play. Alright, so here he comes, trying again. Gets all the way into the Reaver. Oof. Reaver does probably get around... Probably around 6 or 7 kills there, so not terrible, but... I think at this stage of the game, the gig is up. Everybody knows what he's doing. Cannons coming in here. The establishment of the 5th base. Keeping busy. Moving around the map a bit. Some more goons will intercept here. Decent amount of probes here as well again. This vulture harassment play has proved very useful. A couple of mines sounded like their trip, but he didn't seem to lose too many probes there, maybe about 5. Okay, so vultures are going to find the space now, making a gateway here as well. He's also got a goon on the memp. Pretty good. I don't know why this is so faded like this. That's really strange. This would clearly be on Snow's view, so why would I've never seen that with a replay count before. That's so bizarre. Anyway, we're making some gateways. So trying to now create some economic power. On the power of 67 probes, you should be able to make a lot of units. A couple of decent scarabs, but again, lots of exposed bases, taking shortcuts, losing even more probes. I wish there was a worker death count tracker on the replay. I think that would be massively informative. I mean, there he just lost 11, no, not 11, 10. I mean, that's just incredibly useful in my opinion. He even picked up some probes to save them. That was cool. So Terran happily on 3 bases. His next base that he'll be looking to establish will be this one. Moving up and down the map now, getting busy. I'm going to clear away that panel for the time being, just while it's a lot of movement on the map. Again, he hasn't secured this. He could just wall this off. I don't know why he's keeping it open. I mean, here we go again. He's going to get punished. Goons are out of position. I don't know why he can't wall this off with pylons. Maybe he doesn't want to wall it off because of drops, but then make some more cannons. You know. Lost a high Templar there as well. It's quite annoying. Establishing a 6th base here now. Snow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Still against a 3 base in Terran. So the ascendancy in this game will swing. Once Terran gets a 4th, it'll swing back in Terran's favor. But for the time being, 6 bases is too many for Terran to deal with over the long run. At least slow zealots at 15 minutes. Wow. Okay. That's unusual. A little bit different. A little bit different. Legs are about to finish though. I don't know what this was supposed to achieve. Perhaps he was just looking to clear mines. All he did was get some juiced goons for his trouble. So a lot of central action, you know, a lot of action here around this part of the map. Losing more units to mines. More vultures harassing probes. I think that's pretty much been the theme of the game. That's tidied up relatively decently, but I mean he was at 70, nearly 70 workers at a point, so the counter harassment has certainly reduced his income. The flip side though is that our Terran is banking up some money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories. Reducing out all of them. Maybe just miss a few rounds of macro. He should be maxed out now and moving out. Now I wonder if he's missing out on a trick here, because Snow is looking to establish yet another base, which will take him up to 7. And we remain on 3 as Terran. Okay, this is the attempt to establish the 4th. And I think this is quite important to see if Protoss is able to delay this at all. He doesn't seem to have any tech other than Templars. He does start to establish the space. And this one is nicely, like, I wouldn't say walled, but a little bit less vulnerable to harassment at this stage. So both players pretty much maxed. But Snow is still pushing for bases. Here comes the 4th of the Terran. I don't see him having any scope to stop anything. That's a decent storm, but this is a lot of tanks. You can't take a fight over here. I mean, this is just insane. Does get a tank pickoff, vessel, should I say, pickoff. It's nice. Got an assimilator, but not mining the gas there. Timing, are these cannons going to come up on time? I don't think they are, but he's sending some goons there to run interference. Uh-oh. The mech ball is on the way. So that's blocking the harassment there. Here come even more masses of vultures. Looks like Terran wants to pressure this position. Oh, that was a really sick mine drag. That picked up about 6 vultures in one go there. With that storm, unfortunately. I don't know if Snow is going to engage head on here with a Terran army, or if he's going to Try and counter-attack somewhere else, perhaps in here. Some probes being picked off while they're being transferred. Also got himself a free High Templar for his trouble. A far from perfect game from Snow this time. Yep. So he tidied that. He made short work of that base as expected, and Snow has very wisely chosen not to engage. I think he might take an engagement here just simply because the number of vultures is quite low. It's pretty much only tanks, and he has snowed the bejesus out of these with storms. Snowstorms. So funny. So supplies are even. He took the engagement to an extent, but backed away to try and preserve some dragoons. Again, sending out more and more vultures. The APM of this Terran is really, really quick. This is definitely a good player. And the amount of vulture play and APMs required to keep your vultures productive has been excellent. Absolutely excellent. We have a random command center chilling over here. Try and take a 5th base. So 4th is up and running. Just got to get the gas going. Command center could just be landed here. I don't know why it hasn't yet been landed here. We'll keep an eye on that. Just left one tank there to stop Snow from re-establishing their base easily. Kind of funny. Oh, looks like a free vessel. Thank you. He's just gonna back away again. Wisely. Nice game this one, lots of battles. Snow's still in it mainly because of his base count. Terran ahead because of their base count. Terran gonna establish this and go even stronger. Once this base is taken, and he takes this base, we're at a point where almost all bases will be taken. Pretty good storms here. Vultures. You managed to tidy this up okay. Kind of a few straggly tanks over here that are going to be picked up in the middle of the map. I think our Terran is just losing his shape a little bit. Trying to be everywhere with everything. So he's landed his command center, but he needs to get it saturated and up and running. Meanwhile, he's just decided to move a whole heap of units down this way. Picked up a lot of the High Templars, but also lost a few tanks along the way. I don't know how valuable of a target his main really is now, because he's rebuilding over here and he's got all these gateways over here. So this is just one of those scenarios where Protoss is probably just going to be able to expand Terran to death. That being said though, Terran's now got yet another base, so it'll really just come down to this one, and that'll be all bases in this one. So Snow, instead of engaging with that big army, has just decided to knock down this base and force a liftoff. And I think that's a fair call. However, he's lost what has been a pretty much mined out base anyway, so I don't think that's a very costly concession to make. think Snow might be looking to establish this base as well. Very much a macro game, this one. Looking at mining out the whole map, I reckon, by the time it's all said and done. And he's playing the game with Dragoons, Zealots, and High Templars. I mean, he doesn't even have shuttles in the game because of the Terran's Wraith play. That's all he's using. And just macro. Just lots and lots of bases. BT back in the house here, swiping away. So yeah, Snow not deciding to engage here. Just sacking this, going to lose these upgrades. Which is unfortunate, that one's pretty close, this one's not that far. But yeah, he realizes pretty pointless fight. Got plenty of other bases to work with. A lot of Terran's army is actually here. Only 42 workers for Snow. He's got saturation issues because his bases with a lot of money don't have any workers at them. Where are all his workers? Quite a few down here. I think he just needs more probes. He just doesn't have enough. I think with all the madness and everything that's happening, he probably doesn't realize that. Alright, so are we going to have another big engagement somewhere in the middle of the map? Because Terran now kind of has this right side of the map by taking the leftovers of this. There's nothing here to take over. And this base probably needs to be fought for. This base has been established. This base needs to be re-established by Terran. So I reckon on we will go. We will continue to have a macro battle, no doubt. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Have we war better this time? His army was close enough to mop that up, but he needs to make more probes. He definitely needs to make more probes. He's making a couple now. He's obviously listening to me 2 years ago when this game was played. Back from the future. BT's here, so he's got first alert as to when Terran tries to take that base again. Another cannon on the way. Switching to carriers now, Snow. I think that's on this map. Pretty good call. It's not a bad map for carriers. This is a scary fight. Run! Run! Like hand-to-hand combat here just does not work well at all. Decent storm there. Okay, so we're moving out to pressure some fresh sources of income. Those armies over here. Pick up a few tanks that he can easily access. This definitely isn't all of Terran's army. Oof, that's a lot of juicy goons though. Couple of storms. Well, that's pretty good. This base still not established. Come to fight him for this base. Need someone to pressurize this spot too. It's got this and this lifted off, but it's not really together there. Decent couple of storms. Tank line here is deep, but it's not very deep. Sending in some more units now. Snow decides to move his army away from this. Question I have is where to? He seems trying to slow him down instead of stopping him. Oh, hello. It's this random command center floating around. That's fun. So this base is gone. This base will be next. He's scanning here and I think he doesn't... Protoss don't see themselves stopping that. So the counterattack is the play of the game. Play of the day. Just forcing a left off here. Not much money there though, or here. This is really going to come down to these two bases. It's not very common when you get a game and they've basically taken the entire map, but that's what we got here. This is very undersaturated. I think saturation, like spread of probes, has certainly been a problem for Snow. So some fights here, picking off little bits and bobs of income. Getting a little bit more control of the left side of the map. Arguably not that beneficial, really. He picked off a... Yeah, he's just going to pick off a command center kind of for the sake of it. There was not much money here. These tanks have just been left. Don't know why. There's no real money there. This area's kind of just been left. He doesn't want to go up. I think he's trying to use this as an opportunity to establish his base. But he needs... His problem is he's run out of money. He can't lift... command center. Wow, it really didn't dawn on me that he was that low on actual mining bases, but he is. He just let Snow get too many and failed to establish this one, and that's proving massively costly. So he didn't commit his whole army here, and now it makes sense to me why, because he's got no money to replenish it. So he's keeping it kind of in a safe spot and just trading as well as what he can. The goal being to establish this base behind this and to block the establishment of this base by Protoss. We still have money here, we got money here. I mean, it's just really an income game. There's a couple of carriers here that have snuck into the fray. I don't know if Terran knows about it yet. Based on the fact that he has no money, it doesn't matter if he knows. The Goliaths he has or doesn't have, or the Goliaths he has or doesn't have. Simple as that. Okay, sending in some reinforcements here. He's got no units here, so he's going to lose this heap of probes. There's a bit of a whiff on that storm. The Wraiths have stayed alive most of the game, so he's going to get rid of the remaining shuttle there, no problem. Snow's going to lose a big chunk of his probes. Though he does have some army here. As I've said, he's just got very, very low saturation on these bases. There's oversaturated here a little bit, maybe. Definitely undersaturated here, and probably okay there. Okay, so we've got this up and running. We don't seem to have gas as our main problem. Our main problem is minerals. And he's moving across the map. He's going to wipe this out. This is huge for Snow. This is his main... No, that's not fair to say. And he's got this going as well. No, he's just got too much backup money. The Terran has just spread himself so far, trying to shut down all these income streams. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think Snow's just going to endure. He could make 40 zealots now without having to mine a single, you know, again, and he can remake interceptors all the time for these carriers. So yeah, I just think he's going to grind one out here, even though he's lost this main base and this main base. I think that's a lesson to those playing this game as Protoss. You want to stress yourself out about losing bases, get used to it, mate. It's part of the deal. You just need to always have more. So it does sense that this is a critical base, but Snow's army is in position. He's got quite a few cannons going. Just see mines all the damn time. It's all going to come down to income. He doesn't seem too worried about the... He's just making Goliaths. I think he has sensed or scanned and seen the carriers. It's becoming a scary amount of carriers though. It's 5 carriers. Yeah, they come. So the carriers will enter the fray now for the first time. And Terran is moving out to try and kill another income stream. Probably this one. It's the freshest with the most money at it. Fortunately, the carriers have arrived. Sending down the Goliaths that he can make with the income he's able to produce. There's lots of areas to micro carriers on this map though. Interesting that he's not maybe sending... No, it's not actually that important, is it? I would definitely be breaking off a couple of tanks from this main attack to come here. Oh, he heard me. Because this is a really good opportunity just to try and... but Snow senses that and immediately sends his carriers there to block. That's really good game sense from both players actually. Very nice. So this will get knocked over. He can't go hand to hand on the ground, but he can use his carriers to block the soft targets. This tank is still getting a few shots off. Goliaths are going to come in here and knock all these probes down. Does this game get into the epic side of things? It's been really, really, really good. Really, really good. This base is going strong. Got a few zealots here. That nexus is down. This nexus is down. He doesn't... He's got no gas. He does have 2 carriers on the way, which will give him 10. Oh, okay. I don't see a world in which this Terran can stop 10 carriers. Just don't. But what a game. What a game. There's one lonely Goliath having a shot here. Uh-oh. Huh. Oh, he nearly died as well. What? What was that? Must have been a raid. That's quite a lot of Goliaths though. What's the upgrades on these? 1-1 only on these carriers. Does have a wraith, he could cloak him. No, never mind. Oh, this is a lot of carriers, man. They only got 24 workers. Oh, problem is the Goliaths can't fire on the ground and the air. The Zealots get on top here. And this is a huge engagement. Really big. All the tanks are pretty much dead. Oh, storm as well, that's nice. Oh well, unfortunately our Terran just ran out of gas. No, just endured. Tries to land this command center here, but he's got his DT in place. And that's now going to be the end of it. He's just going to wipe out this last source of income. And that's going to be good night, nurse. But what a game. What a game. Just... I mean, Snow made heaps of mistakes in the beginning. But he just expanded enough. And our Terran player just expanded a little bit too slowly and wasn't able to establish this base and hold it. And it was just really an income thing at the end of the day. I don't usually do this, but I will show the stats of this game just to show the amount more money Snow had to generate to be able to win this game, because I think it says a lot. I think that's maybe something I need to do more often. For those who do watch to the end, actually go through the stats. Nobody's mining anything anymore. Alright, never mind. These guys are doing some stuff. But the carriers will finish it off. Yeah, I'm fighting to the bitter end, man. That's cool. No disrespect there. We all had fun. Oh, it did. There's a carrier. Bit of microing undone. I see that. And that's that. Good game. Alright, I want to show you the stats here. Look at the amount more money Snow needed to make. He needed to mine 30% more gas and about, what is that, 50% more minerals to be able to beat Terran. And that's the reality of this match. It's just 100% about resources, and because he spread, he didn't lose his whole army in any one fight. He counterattacked where he had to, preserved his army where he had to. That was good enough to win. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you later. Bye.